everyone, thanks for checking out this video. This is from a shopping trip to the Goodwill outlet, also known as the Goodwill Bins. I am dubbing over just because it's actually pretty loud in there and I don't think you'd be able to hear me if I just use my normal phone audio. This is from a Monday morning visit. It actually was pretty crowded. They kept making announcements to remember to socially distance, and that's not something I've ever heard them do there before. The last time I found one of these, it was full of dimes, so I was pretty excited when I saw two with quarters, but they were both empty. If you haven't shopped the bins before, one rule you need to follow is grab it now, think about it later. So you'll see me getting anything that looks interesting or like it might be a good seller and putting it into the cart, and then I'll go through and look at condition and maybe look something up if I don't know it later in like a quieter part of the store. But if you don't grab it the second you see it, somebody else will. I was really happy I was wearing my gloves when I started reaching into this backpack. I did feel what was in here, and then I stopped and grabbed my camera so you guys could see it too. You have to be really careful when you're shopping in the bins because you never know what kind of stuff you'll find in here. Alright, this is 2 hours of shopping, and now I have to go through and see what I'm gonna keep. I got these weird little like animal penny keychains. This one's from 1990 at the earliest, so they're not super old. I did end up getting all of them, which was a lot more than I first realized. But there are a few different animals, so I'll break them into lots and see how they do. The glassware was really picked over and it didn't look like it had been restocked. So I was actually surprised I found something, and I got this Monsanto Irish coffee mug from 1976. This all has definitely seen better days, but I still got it. And I do really well with Chuck E. Cheese merch, so I grab that anytime I see it here. These are just plastic toy eyes. I got 3 or 4 bags. I don't know, they're just a little bit quirky and weird, so I had to pick them up. And this is just like a knockoff older Tigger, but it still had the tag and was in pretty good shape, so I grabbed it. Eyes. So this hat I ended up putting back because I didn't realize it had paint all on the inside, and it wasn't like recognizable enough for me to get it. This one I thought was pretty cool, even though it's stained and it's going to take some work to clean it up. It's the Seattle Metro vintage hat. There's the tag. This one I did get, it just needs a little bit of lint rolling. It's from Sturgis, so it'll sell pretty fast. More than Chuck E. Cheese, little cheap ball. This hat is military issue, so I know it'll go pretty quick even if it doesn't go for a lot because of the condition. This I think is hilarious, and it's gonna go in my Weird Things auction coming up in February. It's the incredible egg. Just a trucker hat snapback. It is stained, but it was too funny to leave. After checking, I ended up not getting that game. I also ended up putting back this Build-A-Bear because I thought it was an otter. Turns out it's actually the Prairie Dog, which was a St. Louis Zoo exclusive and goes regularly for about 30 bucks. So I'm pretty upset at myself for not realizing what animal that was. This Wii I picked up, it only cost about $6 I think based on the weight. Needs cleaned up because it's covered in whiteout, but assuming it works, a great deal. I sell them even without the accessories right now because people want backups in case something happens to theirs and their kids are stuck at home. This one had the motion sensor and some of the cords, so I grabbed it. I put back this checker set just because it had plastic pieces. And I'm doing all my sorting in like the back corner of the store. I don't like being in everybody's way. And another Build-A-Bear, and looks great even though it's white, so I did grab that. And that's just a charger for my phone since I use up all of my battery cording. A couple little pins, buttons, and jewelry. Nothing fantastic, but I can always use extra pieces for my bulk lots. And here I got a little Lego minifig and a couple more little pieces. And then this dog is Fisher Price. I think it's from the Barnyard set, so I'll add that to a vintage toy lot when I get a few more. I actually had this family when I was little, but they don't go for a lot, and he was pretty beat up, so I put him back. And then this one was newer than I thought, so it also went back. This is one of Strawberry Shortcake's little friends. Sorry, I don't know her actual name, but I sell them anytime I get 2 or 3 together. They go almost as soon as I list them. And this one would be worth getting if it was new, but I can't even see what condition the back is in if there's corrosion, so I put it back. Just another little pin. Now this scale I'm probably not going to make a big profit on, but it looks so great with the colors and the condition's pretty good, so I had to grab it. Don't worry, I did not forget it on the bottom of my cart. And another one of those keychains because they're everywhere. I did not get the case from this since it's obviously falling apart, but I found this in the same bin with the scale and this big tub. Just binoculars, they look like they're in good shape. I don't really know anything about these, but I do know it's worth getting them. The very least cheap ones will sell for more than I spent by the weight. And this is a 90s Tusken Raider, but I'll throw some Star Wars together and sell it. This I did put back. The joystick was broken and I don't have a way to test it. And this little radio was falling apart, so I put that back. And this, all the buttons were jammed up and it's just not worth my time. The cookie cutters, I kept all of the older metal ones. They need to go to wash because they are a little bit sticky, but no rust or anything, so that was a good find. So all of the plastic cookie cutters went back. This was just like a charger from that battery. This I grabbed a look at. It's just like a little souvenir ocarina. Went back. Grumpy Cat did not come home with me. And just a little piece of jewelry for my bulk lots. I found it inside a typewriter, which I thought was a fun spot to find jewelry. just a wee grip. I put all that stuff together when I get a lot and sell it. This actually I put back. They're pretty cheap, even though it was new. It's just a kid GPS tracker. This I thought was interesting just to look at. It looks exactly the same as graduation caps do now. And then I also got this big enamel bowl you see in the cart. It's a little dinged up, but it's perfect for displaying stuff for sale at flea markets and antique sales, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is just a little NBA outfit for Build-A-Bear. And then I actually had timed this trip to go through the clothing section, and these were all kind of together. I didn't have to do a lot of digging or sorting through to find them. It's just a stack of vintage little girl dresses. Not something I normally would mess with, especially since most of them are stained, but almost all of them still have the tags in it, so I can get brand and sizing. And I'm just going to put them all in 1 or 2 lots and see how they do. I have very little money and almost no time invested into these. And this is just a little vintage Mickey, Minnie, and Chippendale pillowcase. It's not something I can sell for my normal requirement of $10, but it will sell really quickly, and it's very small. And I had a few people message me about ugly sweaters, so clearly I need to start having a few more. This is just a little funny teacher cardigan. Now this next piece I found in someone else's reject pile. I guess I didn't know what he was called. And I could only find current listings for them, but they were all over $100, so I went ahead and grabbed them, and I'm so glad I did. I used the African Painted Wild Dog, which was another St. Louis exclusive. And he also has a Goodwill tag, meaning he sat in a retail store for a couple of months and nobody picked him up. So I am really happy with this find. I just realized I wear this mask in like every video I shop here, but that's just because it's the most comfortable. It is 12:48 now, so I was in there almost the full 3 hours shopping. I did have a little bit of time to go through the clothes, so I got some stuff I normally wouldn't even have seen, but I'm pretty happy with today's haul. It was pretty packed for how it's been lately. I don't know if it's just the time of the year or there's nothing else to do today. I had to throw elbows with some guy because I was digging in like the corner of a bin when they first opened and nothing really caught my eye, so I just kind of went to one side to start, and I had my cart behind me, so it gives me like a couple feet on either side of space. I ended up in the corner of one bin and I hadn't really seen anything great. It was just like little toys, and I was kind of just checking to see what was in there, and this guy like leans over and kind of pushed my cart out of the way, and I figured, oh, okay, he just wants like one thing. I don't know, there's nothing here, but whatever. And then he kept digging and like getting closer and closer to me, which even before we had a social distance, like this guy was way too close. His hands were all what would have been my lap if the bin wasn't right there. So I said, hey, if you give me a second, I'll move. And he completely, like, I know he heard me because he just looked at me and then kept getting in my way. So I just kind of stuck my elbows out like you're at a concert and got to get some room. And he was close enough that that hit him, and he was mad, but like, don't stand that close to me. And then he still didn't move. So there's like a code of behavior at these places. Like if someone's looking at a pile, you don't just shove your pile into where they're looking. But a really big one is that you watch where you're throwing stuff if you're digging through the bin. So I watched exactly where I was throwing stuff and started chucking it all at him. There's nothing like was really gonna hurt him, and I wasn't throwing it hard, but making it very obvious that I was done being polite. And then that didn't work, so then I just took my hand and I just shoveled like a big bunch of the stuff on top of him, and he got mad and left, and then avoided me the rest of the time I was there, which is fair. Like, what do you need? These aren't even like nice action figures, and they weren't all like one theme that your kid wants. You just give me some space, man. And then I watched that bin like out of the corner. He didn't go back. So he was just being annoying for no reason. I don't know. But that was fun. And then I found, I don't know if there's a needle in that, but I found the insulin thing. I took that up front. There's kids that dig in here and stuff too, and I don't want anyone to hit their hand on it. And yeah, I think that we should give me back most of my money, if not all. I spent just under $40. Nothing else is a really fast seller, which stinks. Like, I'm gonna sit on it a while, but I'm not gonna be listing for at least another week or two while we finish the remodel, and then I reorganize what's already listed and lower prices and run some sales. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I'm glad I came out today. I'm going to stop by a friend's house who saved some boxes for me, and then I'm headed home to work on the office. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.